If you want to be successful in business, you got to have a personal coach. You have to have a marriage coach. Okay, well, that's out for me. And you have to have a business coach. Why? Because all those three areas makes up your daily life, and you don't know it all.
This kind of goes to the partnership and mutual benefits, but you brought up a mentor. Have you had a lot of mentorship, or what does that look like?
So in the last year and a half, I really stepped it up. I've had that friend own a very successful business. When I was in recruiting, made millions of dollars, and now he flips homes for fun. He doesn't need to, but he does it for fun. So he's an extremely savvy business person. If I have a question, I'm always reaching out to him. He lives in Jacksonville, Florida, but I'm also paying. I decided to go through Investor Strive Mentorship. I also have another personal coach. And here's my thing. Just like anybody else, at some point, we're like, well, we're not Tiger Woods, right? We don't need a mentor. We don't need a coach. But the fact of the matter is that we weren't born, with all this knowledge, and neither were them, okay? The Lionel Messi's of the world winning a World Cup, I guarantee you, he's paid what he has to pay. We don't know it all. And I learned meeting an investor that I seeked out in Tulum about 2 years ago. He said to me, look, Sonia, if you want to be successful in business, you got to have a personal coach. You have to have a marriage coach. Okay, well, that's out for me. And you have to have a business coach. Why? Because all those three areas makes up your daily life, and you don't know it all. If you think you know everything personally in your marriage or in your business, I'm here to tell you somebody can always teach you something new.
Oh, that is absolutely fantastic, and I couldn't agree more. I just started getting coaching. So Chris was the first one to actually get me into any sort of, I guess, groups to kind of the pay-to-play type model. That was with Jake and Gino. So started joining those groups. And last year, I think I had two different coaches. One of them was somewhat of a live, somewhat of, kind of holistically did everything. There was an intention more on the life coaching, except he had a lot of business experience as well. So when I'm having a bad day, he's actually able to help with that. I hired a personal trainer. I had then a business coach. I then was part of a mastermind group that was all different levels of entrepreneurs, which all of them basically offered some mentorship as well. And then finally, another group that was basically a band of brothers, 50 men, all of them real estate investors, but, probably 40% of the conversations were about real estate. The rest of it was about life, how to optimize yourself, because really it's ourselves. Once you get the blueprint of real estate, it's simple. It's hard. It's a lot of work, but it's fairly simple. At least it's its most fundamental aspects. You buy rentals that are of good value, meaning you have to look at 100 of them. So you have to look at 100. You write 10 offers, and you get one. That age-old saying. That one, you put in a property management company, or you manage it yourself. You develop those systems. You collect the rent. You make sure the residents are happy. You take care of the building. You rinse and repeat. You refinance, and you do it over again. All sounds simple, except in the middle, there's life, there's kids, there's traffic, there's illness. There's all these different things that can occur where you get detoured, and you need some help to get realigned to either bounce ideas off of, or just kind of for that inspiration, or for those secondary ideas. So I think I invested close to 6 figures last year in mentorship, and I'm looking at a really high level individual this year, and it's a high ticket price, but when you can start looking at it past the money, first off, they should always pay for themselves. Like, you should be able to, if you apply yourself, it should be incredibly easy to get your money back with that.
That's what people don't understand.
They think it's a cost. They think it's a cost like buying a car,
yes,
or a television.
And the thing that they don't understand, my coach has connected me with other extremely successful entrepreneurs. Why? Because he's coaching the same people, right? And at first you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay this? And my comment to people is, you cannot afford not to have one. It'll come back in circle. I've gotten business out of my coaches. Not that's the reason why I did it. I think mentally, as you talked about it being holistic, it is so important. I think one of the biggest growth things that I've had in the last year is starting to learn how to take care of myself, because you run 100 miles per hour, you're taking care of everybody, and you forget to take care of yourself. And I'm sorry, sooner or later, you're going to burn out. And when we see these people, oh, they're so successful. They have everything put together.
Must be nice.
We're all human.
Yeah.
We all have good days. We all have bad days. We all have, for the most part, kids, lives, parents, sickness. I mean, we have it all. Everybody has their challenges. Obviously, with everything on the internet, it makes it look easy, but I don't care what they said. Anybody who's achieved, success, they went through their grind and they're still going through it. And I think that's important. It's called delayed gratification, right? You have to put in the work. But when you surround your people around these coaches and they're consistently telling you, I've had my coach for a year and a half telling me I needed to take a trip by myself. And I'm like, there's no way. I can't disconnect my whole world. I did. And guess what? My perspective coming back has been nothing but amazing. I mean, I'm realigning everything. I would have not done that if my coach had not continued to push that button.
You're optimizing. You've optimized yourself.